I just wanna be okay, be okay, be okay. I just wanna be okay today.
Good morning, loves of my life. Okay, so today I'm going to be making a Nutella inspired dessert, part of my Nutella series that I plan on doing. I have yet to begin. I call it Nutella. I've always done so since childhood. Some of you might call it Nutella because it's basically, if you don't know what it is, it's this guy right here. It says hazelnut spread with skim milk and cocoa. I grew up on this stuff. But so for those who don't know, that's what that is. And so let's get right into it. I have pizza dough right here. I made these like delicious little pull apart pizza rolls yesterday, and that's like a whole vat of pizza dough left over. My toppings are going to be strawberry and a banana, a ripe banana. And then I have some butter just to put on the, just to kind of like brush over the dough to give it some color. Some flour just to roll out the dough to begin with. This is, if you don't know what this is, do you guys see that? It's just a very raw, it's just raw sugar, let's put it that way. And when you put it on top of desserts in the oven, it gets really crunchy and like sweet, and it's just really good. And then I just have some powdered sugar for sprinkling over. And though it's a few ingredients, it's really all of the components make a delicious dessert. Here's my arsenal of tools. Fork, because you have to prick the dough. Knives, just because I like them. So let's get right into it. Now you can make, I don't suggest making this into a huge pizza. I really suggest, oh yeah, by the way, preheat your oven to 400 because you're going to pre-bake the dough before you actually put the Nutella on there. So I also have a pretty large pan with a silicone mat. I know you guys, like, I bake so much, it's like brown already. I've pretty much gotten my full use from the silicone mat. Now what you need to do with your dough is you need to grease a bowl, as in oil it up, oil the entire dough, and let it sit for, depending on the pizza dough I guess, until it doubles in size. And this is pure, the oil is purely because it won't form a crust. When you take it out, be very careful because you're going to release all that air, which is fine, but you just want to make sure you don't, you know, work the dough too much. I usually make this really small because different toppings, yes, I said it, different toppings, you have a million options, so don't keep yourself short and restricted to just strawberries or anything. So, I'm going to put my dough right here. I know, this is actually a store-bought dough, so it's a little weird in shape. I don't understand why they made it into a log, but they did. I guess I will make it into a log this time because it'll fit my mat better. Do you see this air bubble? So I'm just going to kind of give my border first. And you know what? This is not have to be perfect. The more homemade, the better. You don't want to spend all this time working with dough and make it look like you basically store-bought it. So I'm gonna do that. I'm just adding a little bit more flour on top because our dough is greasy. Okay, so I basically flipped it over. After I make my border, I'm just gonna kind of work with it. And for those of you who don't know how to like, kind of like fist stretch out, you use your fist to stretch it out, don't worry about it, just use your hands. No one's gonna know as long as you get that dough flat. My doggies are on a walk right now, and you could hear my little boy Goji barking up a storm. I don't know if the camera's catching it. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep doing this and slowly stretching it out. This is what I suggest you do, unless you want to like work the dough with your fists, which a lot of people are not comfortable doing. Do you hear him? I finished pressing out my dough just using my hands like you saw. I know it's like an awkward rectangular shape. That's because I plan on putting it in my very old silicone mat. But you know what? When you're a baker, this is what it's going to look like. Now the first thing I'm going to do is just brush the bottom slightly with butter. When I say slightly, I mean slightly. I don't mean I'm going to put a ton of it on here. This just really, I don't know, just don't skip the step. But if you do, nothing's gonna happen. It's just that it's such a simple recipe, you wanna make sure that it's good, you know? You wanna make sure you do everything right. So I'm gonna put the butter aside, we're gonna need that in a bit. And I'm going to take my dough, which I still made too big. I mean, I guess I could half it, right? Not a big deal. 2 Nutella pizzas instead of 1. Patch up any holes you make. Okay, that'll be pizza number 1. The next thing you need to do, prick your dough all over so you don't get any gigantic awkward bubbles. That's what I'm going to do. Butter the sides. You don't need to concentrate too much on the middle because that's going to be covered. We don't care how brown it gets. And since I rolled mine out pretty thin, it'll be fine. And whatever's left on my brush, I'll just bring on over. I won't add any more butter. Okay. This one is done. It's gonna go in the oven 400 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes until it looks cooked and kind of golden brown. It might brown a little bit more, but I will put this, I'll do the same thing with this dough, and then we'll come back. I'll show you what it looks like. Maybe I could fit 2 on 1. I don't know, we'll see. 2 things. 1, I could fit both on 1, so instead of making them rounds, I'm keeping them rectangular. I don't know, why not? Try different things. Plus, you could cut them into little squares versus slices, which may be hard to eat depending on how much Nutella you want to put. Excuse me. So I've buttered both. I'm just gonna grab my raw sugar and just slightly sprinkle the crust. I'm gonna put this in the oven 10 to 15 minutes. I'll eyeball it, let you guys know when I get back, and then we'll take the next step. Here I have my gorgeous strawberries and my ripe banana, and I'm going to use my little fruit cutting board to go ahead and cut these up. Now my dough just came out, so it's really hot, but I want to show you what it looks like. It's this guy right here. Let me zoom you out. Can you guys see that? So it's nice and crispy, just like I like it. You could leave it softer if you want. It doesn't even need to get as brown as I let mine. Now the thing is, you want to let it cool off a little bit before you add the Nutella because you definitely don't want it running all over the place. So I'm just going to kind of mark my border because mine puffed up more than I would have liked it to, which is not a problem at all. But this little border will let the Nutella kind of prevent flowing. I'm going to go ahead and add, this is where you could get crazy. Add as much as or as little as you want. I think that might be enough for me. So the warmth of the pizza, the residual warmth, will help you kind of spread this better. And your Nutella should be room temperature to begin with. I know, you guys, it's killing me. But, so go ahead and spread this. I am not going to skip out on this part because I know you want to see this. Kind of self-explanatory at this point. So this is our Nutella pizza straight out of the fridge, in there for about 10 minutes. My bananas, as you can see, have not turned brown yet. I do recommend you do that last minute. Keeping it in the fridge makes it just easier to cut so the Nutella won't run everywhere. But here it is. I kind of repowdered the edges just to give it a, you know, freshen up the powdered sugar look. I'm just going to use a big knife to cut it into squares. Now my crust is a bit crunchy, the way I like it. And you can make it as soft as you want, just cook the dough less, but I really like the flavor it gives. So this, my friends, is what that looks like. Hold on. I have my angle, my camera at the weirdest angle, so it's like hard figuring out. Do you see it? Is it not the most amazing thing ever? I think so. And I'm not gonna lie when I say like, oh, let me just try this for you. You know why? Because I made the other pizza. See this? Can I just say that it's like the best thing in the world. You don't need to be a professional pizza maker. You don't need to be a pastry chef. Go and buy your frozen freshly made dough in your grocery section. This is how I got this dough. Spread the Nutella on top after baking it. Done. Everyone's gonna be impressed. It's gonna be delicious. Look how gorgeous it looks, and it's just a pizza. I mean, come on. So this is just pretty much assembly. I will include everything down below. Please, you guys, let me know anything you want to let me know in the comment section. Anything you want to try. Any suggestions, whatever. Like, subscribe, and I'll be more than happy to do it when I get around to it. Thank you for watching.